Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to solve the practice test 2 for grade 10. So the exam is out of 60 marks. Make sure you write your notes and let's start. The first question is listening 1. You are going to hear a conversation between a brother and his sister. Listen and shade in the bubble next to the correct option. We have questions from 1 to 7. Make sure you listen carefully and write your answers. Then I will review the answers at the end. Are you ready?
Hi, Jakob. You're late home from school today.
Yes, there was a special meeting of the drama club.
Really? Ah, yes, you mentioned it before. They're going to put on a play, aren't they? A historical drama.
That's right, King Henry IX. And guess what? They've chosen me to play the king.
Wow, congratulations. The play's in English, isn't it? You'll have to make sure your pronunciation is accurate.
Oh, I'm not too worried about that. I'll be well prepared.
You mean your English teacher will give you some individual coaching?
No, he's much too busy for that. I'm going to teach myself.
How will you do that?
I've got an English dictionary. If there are any difficult words, I can use it to check how they should be pronounced.
Oh, right.
But I am a bit worried about remembering all my lines. Look at the script. 135 pages. And mine's the biggest part.
Well, you'll just have to do some hard work, won't you?
By the way, do you have any suggestions? I mean, with your experience of working in a TV studio.
Yes, but I don't have to remember my lines. When I read the news, everything's written down on a screen in front of me.
Okay, but you must have some tips for me.
Well, all right. I think you should say the words out loud as you read them. That'll help you to remember.
Right.
And practicing at the right time is important too. For example, if you read the lines just before you go to sleep, that also helps.
But how can I do that? I'll keep Ahmed awake.
Well, find somewhere quiet.
But I can't use the living room either. You know Dad likes to stay up late watching films.
Well, go into the kitchen then. And shut the door so you won't disturb anyone.
Okay, I'll try that.
By the way, when's the play on?
At the end of this month. On the 28th to be exact.
So that gives you 3 weeks to prepare. That should be enough time.
By the way, I hope you'll be able to come.
Of course I will. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Anyway, you'd better start practicing.
I don't feel like it right now. I think I'll just check my emails. I'll look at the script tonight, just like you said.
Have you got your answers? Well done. If you didn't, then it's okay. Go back and listen again for the second time to check your answers. And listen again for the third time to make sure that your answers are correct. Okay, together let's review the answers in 3, 2, 1. Great. The answer for number 1. In the school play, the boy will play the role of a king. 2. He will practice his English punctuation using a dictionary. 3. His sister is a news reader. 4. This suggests that he should learn his lines before going to sleep. 5. He decides to practice in the kitchen. 6. The play will be performed in 3 weeks' time. And the last one, 7. His sister tells him she will definitely come and watch him. The next question is vocabulary. For each item, shade in the bubble next to the correct option. So you have a small task here and you have several of options from 1 to 5. I will give you time to solve alone, then I will review the answers at the end. You can pause the video to write your answers. Are you ready? Have you got your answers? Well done. Now let's read the task with the correct options. Every year, We put 8 million tons of plastic into the oceans. Hundreds of thousands of marine animals die per year because they eat or become trapped in plastic. The best way to solve this problem is to reduce the amount of plastic we use. We can all make small changes in our daily lives to reduce the amount of single-use plastic items we throw away. For example, 1 million plastic bottles are sold every minute worldwide. However, if we use reusable bottles instead, we will greatly reduce the number of plastic bottles that end up in the ocean. I hope your answers were correct. Now let's move on to the next question, which is grammar. For each item, shade in the bubble under the correct option. You have speaker A and speaker B and options to choose from 1 to 5. Again, I will give you time to solve alone and then I will review the correct options at the end. Are you ready? Have you written your answers? Great, because all you have to do here is compare these options with the conversation and match them if they're correct or wrong. So the answer for number 1, speaker A says, which is the most populated country in the world? Speaker B replies, it's China. I think it has more than 1 billion people. Speaker A again, wow, that's amazing. What's the name of the capital city? Speaker B replies, you should know that. We studied that last week. Speaker A, oh, did we? I don't remember. Speaker B replies, it's Beijing, of course. So all you have to do here is compare. You can't say, for example, in number 5, do we? I don't remember. It's did because it's past, in the past, last week. So you have to say, did we? Understood? Okay, moving on to the next question. Grammar 2. For each item, again, shade in the bubble next to the correct option. So you have questions from 6 to 10. Let's solve these questions together. Number 6. Ahmed played well, he didn't score any goals. The answer is, however. Correct. 7. My father spends the amount of time using the internet. The answer is least. Number 8. Farmers cannot grow crops droughts. The answer is because of droughts. Number 9. The news report discovered that the thief made the story. The answer is up. Last one, number 10. Many forts built in Oman thousands of years ago. The answer is were. Correct. Next is reading 1. Read the text, then complete the task. Okay, let's read this text together and solve the questions later one by one. As a scientist, I always hope to meet people who care about the environment like I do. However, I must say, it doesn't happen very often. Take my own family, for example. My daughter looks for the latest fashion in clothes, shoes, and handbags. My son spends all his pocket's money on computers, video games, and mobile phones. And my wife always wants to get new equipment for the kitchen. They don't seem to understand that the more they buy, the more they will throw away, and the more the environment will be polluted. At least, that's what I thought. However, when I called them together for a family meeting, I got a big surprise. I was going to give them a long lecture about saving the environment, but before I could start, I found out that they were way ahead of me. First, my wife told me that she was already donating all our old clothes to a charity organization that distributes them to poor people. Then she asked if she could also give them some old tables and chairs. And of course, I agreed. Then, my son surprised me by inviting me to a recycling exhibition at his school. Later, I went there and I was very impressed with the various products created by the students. I even bought a really nice reading lamp made from an old glass bottle. Now it's true, I'm still waiting for one family member, my daughter, to do something for the environment, but 2 out of 3 is pretty good, isn't it? So perhaps there is hope for the world after all. Now, after we read the text, let's solve the task 1. For each item, we have to shade in the bubble next to the correct option. So number 1 says, the writer believes that dash about the environment. Most people, few people care, nobody cares. The answer is few people care. Number 2, his wife is interested in dash, cooking, computers, or clothes. The answer is cooking. Make sure you always go back to the text when you read the questions here so you can know the answers. Number 3, the charity organization provides help for dash, poor families, handicapped people, sick children. The answer is poor families. Number 4, he agrees to donate some dash, money, furniture, clothes. The answer is furniture. 5, he then bought a recycle bottle from a dash, friend, shop, school. The answer is school. 6, so far his dash hasn't done anything for the environment. The answer is yes, daughter. Now the task 2, for each item complete the missing words but not more than 2 words. Number 7, the writer's daughter is interested in the dash in clothes. So you can always make sure and go back to the text so you can have answers. Here in answer number 7, we can say latest fashion in clothes. Number 8, his wife has donated all clothes to a charity. Correct. Number 9, the writer's son invited him to a recycle dash at his school. So he invited him to an exhibition at his school. And last but not least, number 10, the writer hopes all his family members care about, correct, the environment. Always make sure you understand the text and what they are talking about specifically. And if you didn't know the answer to any questions, make sure you head back and read the text again once or twice till you figure it out. Next is reading 2. Again, we have to read the text, then complete the task. Okay, I will give you time. It's like a quick exercise for you. You can pause the video and read the text. Then we will go and solve the questions. Have you read the text? Great. Now let's read it together, then solve the questions. Emily had a normal childhood until she was 18 months old. When her parents noticed that she was walking strangely, they thought it was a simple problem that could be solved easily. However, Emily didn't get any better. They went to every hospital and medical center they knew, but none of the doctors could identify what was wrong. Finally, after over 6 months of this, a doctor discovered that Emily was suffering from SMA. SMA is a rare disease that destroys the nerves controlling muscle movements. This affects a child's ability to use his or her muscles, especially for standing or walking. It is very rare because both parents have to be carriers of abnormal gene to have a child with SMA. Emily's parents are both perfectly healthy and had no idea that they were carrying this harmful gene. After hearing the news, they knew that they had to make big changes in their life. Emily's father asked some builders to reconstruct parts of the house so that she could move around more easily. Her mother borrowed a book from the doctor and started reading about the disease. She learned to follow particular medical procedures like water therapy, which is very helpful as the water allows movement of the arms and legs that may otherwise not be there. It wasn't always easy. When people saw Emily, they thought she had had an accident. They kept asking lots of questions that annoyed the parents. Emily was crying all the time because she saw others walking around, but she couldn't. Now, at the age of 5, Emily can crawl around using her arms and uses a wheelchair when necessary. She still enjoys activities like swimming. Until now, scientists are still looking for a medicine to help children with SMA. Emily's parents still have hope that one day their daughter will be able to walk. Now, how old was Emily when a doctor found that she had SMA? The answer is 2 years old. Number 12. What does Emily find difficult to do because of the disease? The answer is the ability to walk. Why did Emily's father rebuild some parts of the house? The answer is to move more easily. 14. Why was Emily crying all the time? The answer is because she couldn't move. 15. Who else in the family has become ill? The answer is no one. Last one, 16. How can Emily move around the house using her arms or a wheelchair? So always make sure that the answers are on the text. All you have to do is read carefully and write the answers. Now task 2, for each item shade in the bubble to indicate whether the statement is true or false. 17. Emily's mother learned more about SMA from the internet. The answer is false. 18. The most effective treatment for SMA is water. The answer is true. 19. When other people find out about Emily's condition, they become very curious. The answer is true. Last one. SMA is an illness that affects the nerves controlling stomach movement. The answer is false. Moving on to the next question, writing 1. Write a text of at least 80 words. Summarize all the information in the following column graph. Well, I think you have seen this column graph before because it's common on the exam, so it's very important. Your writing should be clear and organized. I will give you time. Make sure you pause the video and write your own words. Then I will review the correct writing at the end. Remember, in these type of writing, all you have to do is understand the column graph and write your own words clear and organized with good summary. So you can say, the bar graph displays the proportion of Australian males and females in various age brackets who engaged in daily physical exercises in 2010. Overall, it is apparent that women in all age groups exercise more compared to men, except in the young age bracket. Males falling in age range of 15 to 24 exercise the most, accounting for 52.8%. The percentage of men who engaged in physical activity gradually decreased with growing age until 35 to 44 age bracket. However, their participation went up steadily with increasing age group before becoming almost even with women of the age range 65 and over at 46.7%. On the other hand, women falling in age group of 15 to 24 had a relatively less participation than men, amounting to 47.7%. It then constantly rose and reached a peak of 53.3% for females in 45 to 54 age range. Finally, women who were 65 and over participated the least in physical activity, accounting to only 47.1%. The last question is writing 2. Here you have to complete the following task. Write at least 100 words. So the situation is you are a student in grade 10. You have a project at school about solar power. So the task says write a request email to Mr. Brown, the manager of the Mira project. Ask if an engineer from the Mira project can visit your school to give a presentation about solar power. Your name is Ali or Alia. Your writing should be clear and organized. I will give you time again, or you can pause the video to make your own words, then I will show you the answer. Dear Mr. Brown, my name is Alia and I'm contacting you for my school project. I'm searching for some information on a mirror provided by your company. I've collected several information about solar power and I've understood that it works by converting energy from the sun into power. But I still have more questions. I would very much appreciate if you could provide me one of your engineers to meet us in school and present more about solar power. If you are available, please let me know if my request is possible. However, here you contact me by this number or by email to confirm me if the engineer is available. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Alia. Remember, in these types of writings, you can make fake emails or fake number to make your email even more professional. And remember, all your writing can be good and clear. All you have to do is write a good request based on the question. Now we have reached the end of the text. I hope you learned a lot of things today. Best of luck with your exams and don't forget to like and subscribe our channel.